wonderful staff here. You're all doing a wonderful job. Thank you so much. Thank you tonight. Now, events like this don't just happen. As you know, it takes vision and it takes support of generous sponsors. The Executive Vice President, People. What a great title is that? The Executive Vice President of People at Vermilion is here tonight. She spent the majority of her career in the oil and gas industry. She travels a lot with her position, but she's always glad to come back to family, Calgary, and the community. She always takes a lot of time to support the community. And Vermilion Energy is a supporter of the YWCA Skills Training Program and is the presenting sponsor tonight. So let's give a warm round of applause to Vermilion Energy.
Good evening. On behalf of the YWCA and Vermilion Energy, I'd like to thank you for choosing to spend this evening in support of the YWCA of Calgary. Vermilion supports the Y because we believe in strong communities. Our business is built on the strengths of our people, and people are shaped by the communities in which they live, work, and raise their families. I am absolutely delighted to be here this evening to introduce Gloria Simon, a trailblazer in our midst. But before I do, I'd like to take a few moments to highlight the importance of the Y in its work to strengthen families and communities in Calgary. Vermilion proudly supports the Y because we believe that in a city as great as Calgary, it is troubling that 1 in 10 of us live in poverty. We find it alarming that half of our homeless have jobs, but aren't earning enough to afford housing. And we find it tragic that almost 1 in 5 kids under the age of 15 are living in poverty because we know that growing up in poverty greatly increases the likelihood that you will live in poverty as an adult. Vermilion is here tonight because we believe that through our collective action, we can change the lives of disadvantaged women and their families in Calgary. And we know that investing in families and communities is smart business. 5 years ago, we started the Vermilion Energy YWCA Skills Training Center because we know that education and skills training can help give individuals the path to a brighter future. Through the 20-week training program, unemployed and underemployed women have the opportunity to gain the skills and the confidence that they need to earn a sustainable career in the construction trades. Through our investment, we hope to see more women have the power of choice, the privilege of opportunity, and the ability to set a new course for themselves and their families. Ultimately, our investment in the YWCA of Calgary is about changing lives and strengthening families. And I'm very proud to share that to date, we've had 173 graduates of that program. So that's why Vermilion's here. Let me share a little bit about why I'm here. I was born in the 60s in a family that looked from the outside to have traditional gender roles. I had a mother who had a quiet voice, but a voice with strength. I had a father who was used to being the boss on the oil field, and in the early days of fatherhood, believed that the man of the house should really make most of the decisions. Well, my father was given a blessing, and it came in the form of his son and his 3 daughters. The girls rocked his world, and together we found a new way to live. So we grew up with the idea that we all have choices, and we all have voices. And I'm inspired to see that my 2 sons and my daughter now have even more choices before them about who they will be, how they will contribute to the world around them, and how they will seize the opportunity for success. Growing up and living in Calgary has always meant opportunity for me. I've seen this city as a vibrant entrepreneurial community where your future is what you make of it. But by connecting with the YWCA, I have now also seen another side of Calgary. For the 140,000 or so Calgarians who are just barely getting by, life in our city is often about making choices, like paying for groceries or paying for rent, staying in an abusive relationship, or being homeless. For the women that are just getting by, there's the additional challenge of gender disparity in low-wage work. In Alberta, women earn 68 cents for every dollar that men earn. Over 2/3 of low-wage workers in Alberta over the age of 25 are women. And approximately 150,000 women in our province earn less than $12 an hour. This view of our city and our province raises tough questions for us as a community. Gloria Steinem has always asked the tough questions about equal pay, about reproductive rights, and about how we govern ourselves in civilized nations. Like the Y, Ms. Steinem is a formidable advocate who has never whispered about the need to help women in our society. She has accomplished more in the last 40 years than many of us could dream about in 10 lifetimes, helping women amplify their voices in the journey towards equality. She has been called the pivotal force behind the modern women's liberation movement, and let me explain why. She's written 4 best-selling books, made prolific contributions to many anthologies and textbooks, and was also the editor of the Reader's Companion to U.S. Women's History. Ms. Steinem co-founded New York Magazine and Ms. Magazine, as well as helped to found the Women's Action Alliance, the National Women's Political Caucus, Voters for Choice, Choice USA, Ms. Foundation for Women, and Take Our Daughters to Work Day. I get tired just going through this list. Was named by Biography magazine as one of the 25 most influential women in America, and is the recipient of numerous awards and honorary degrees, and has been inducted into the National Women's Hall of Fame in New York. Now, in addition to traveling around the world as an organizer and lecturer, she is a frequent media spokeswoman on issues of equality, and is also currently working with the Sophia Smith Collection at Smith College on a project to document the grassroots origin of the U.S. women's movement. She's also at work on a book, in the midst of all of this, The Road to Heart, America as if Everyone Mattered, which is about more than 30 years on the road as a feminist organizer. What incredible energy this woman must have. Authentic and wise voice, Gloria Steinem continues to influence how we think about women in society and how we can change our world to ensure we all have a voice and an opportunity to contribute. Ms. Steinem once said, "God is in the details, but the goddess is in the connections," and understanding that our goal is to be linked but not ranked. This evening, we are linked in our efforts to make Calgary a stronger community for all of us. It is my distinct privilege to ask Ms. Gloria Steinem to share her insights into the lives of women in the 21st century and the challenges and the choices facing us all. Please welcome Ms. Steinem.